cooler temperatures are here now. We've got bare trees and shorter days, which means winter is coming. And as it's right around the corner, we're getting you prepared with the car maintenance you should think about ahead of the cold. Joining us right now via Zoom is Mark Shieldrop with AAA. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us, sir.
How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's talk about some of the most common issues that car owners experience during the colder months that we'll need to prepare for.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like winter's, it's been a long time since we've had cold weather. So we might not be thinking that it's time to really think about cold weather maintenance with our vehicles. But now is the time. At AAA, we generally see a big spike in calls for dead batteries that first cold snap we get. So if your battery's anywhere from about 4 to 5 years old, it's really approaching retirement age. So if you start to notice it's a little sluggish to start, you're going to need to consider, maybe it's time to replace that battery. If you're a AAA member, we come to you, we can test that battery and tell you if you're good to go. If it turns out you need that battery replacement, now's the time to get it done so that way you don't find yourself stuck, unable to leave in that cold morning when you got to get to work or get to where you need to go. So that's the first thing I would consider, is really consider how old your battery is and give it a good look. See if those terminals are not corroded. Make sure it's in decent shape so you'll be ready for the winter.
And then the tires, I understand, could be a trouble spot too.
Yeah, over the winter we get a lot of calls for blown tires. Not only is it a safety issue, but it's one of those things where your stopping distance is affected when your tires are worn out. Quick rule trick to check the life of your tires is take a quarter, stick it in the tread. If the president's head is above that tread depth line, that means it's time to replace those tires. It's a safety issue, of course, but also you're going to have better traction in the snow. You're going to be able to get moving if there's some snow. You don't necessarily need winter tires around here, but a good pair of all-weather or all-season tires is going to make a huge difference in your ability to drive safely and have that traction when you need it, when those roads are wet and slippery.
Okay, so one of the last things that I want to kind of touch on here is what people should do, as we know that the mechanics can be kind of hard to schedule and get into sometimes. What are some things that we can do in a pinch to prepare right now to kind of tide us through until we may be able to get to the shop for some of these repairs and preventative measures?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do yourself, really. Things like changing your wiper blades, that's a good thing to do now. We haven't really had to use our wipers very much these days, but they're going to wear out and age just in the sunlight and the heat of the summer. That material is going to wear out. So you get a good pair of wiper blades you can order online. It's very easy to find the right set for your vehicle. Air filters are another thing that are pretty low effort to get replaced. Maybe not your engine air filter if you're uncomfortable with that, but your cabin air filter. You want to replace that maybe every year. The other thing is people often top off their fluids this time of year. If you're going to replace your washer fluid, make sure you get a blend that's designed for the winter. If you use a summer-oriented formula, that can freeze up in those sub-zero temperatures. We're going to have a very cold snap at some point. And the last thing you want to have happen is that washer fluid to freeze. That can damage those lines and damage those nozzles. And we all know how important it is to be able to squirt that defroster, de-icer on your windshield in those cold mornings to get that frost out of the way so we can see clearly in the morning.
Very important. Mark, we appreciate these tips. And just really quickly, for any people who may not be members with you, is there a quick number that we can call to get connected?
Yeah, I mean, you can call it 888 AAA help, or you can just go to AAA.com, punch in your zip code, and you can get right to our website. You can have all sorts of great tips. You don't have to be a member to get all of the great information, but if you are a member, we're here for you and ready to help out when you need some help.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All of this information will be available for our viewers on our website, abc6.com. We appreciate you for joining us. Let's send things back over to Kelly.